Hey guys, John V from PhoneArena here. You're watching our video review of the Google Nexus 9. With this year's Nexus tablet, it's actually HTC that's taking the helm in manufacturing it, and it follows in tradition in being a very affordable tablet. But what's especially delightful this time around is that it's sporting the brand new Android 5.0 Lollipop experience, which is arguably the biggest overhaul to the platform in recent memory. Certainly, it's not the most stylish design we've seen in the tablet, so the Nexus 9 pretty much follows in the same tradition as other Nexus tablets. It's very modest and humbling with its all-plastic casing. It has a soft touch matte finish, which gives it a good grip, but at the same time, it's prone to smudges and fingerprints. The construction is a little bit hollow, unfortunately. It doesn't try to be the skinniest or the lightest on the block, and the overall package just comes out a little bit more on the generic side. We can see some of HTC's influences with its design. It's evident in the metal trim bezel that's outlining in the sides, which is home to things like the volume control and the power button and microphone on the right. You have the micro USB port on the bottom. The left side is clean, and on the top, the only thing we have there is a 3.5mm headset jack. Another signature thing with HTC is the fact that it's packing along dual front-firing speakers with HTC boom sound. The Google Nexus 9 features an 8.9-inch 1536 by 2048 IPS LCD display. While it's not really big on the specs, it does bear some remarkable qualities. For example, you have a pixel density count of 288 pixels per inch, so it's pretty sharp and detailed, but it has a very potent brightness output of 453 nits, which is one of the brighter displays on a tablet out there. But the best thing about it is that it's very accurate with its color reproduction. In fact, it's a lot more accurate than the iPad Air 2 or the Samsung Galaxy Tab S 8.4. The best part about the Google Nexus 9 is without a doubt the new Android 5.0 Lollipop experience. It's the biggest and most tremendous update to the platform in recent memory. So it sees a lot of new cool features and also an updated design language in what Google calls material design. It's a very minimalist, clean, crisp, modern looking interface and doesn't have a lot of redundancies with the way it looks or it performs. It's pretty much simple, and we do appreciate all the cool features that are in tow. Material design is pretty much evident in a variety of areas with the interface here. So when you do things like the app panel, you see how it has that cool animation effect and how it layers certain areas over the other. You also see it in things like the quick apps panel, so you could quickly switch between the tabs, and even the notifications and the quick settings menu, they are layered on top of whatever you're doing, and you just get a sense of depth with the interface. So we won't get into too much detail about all the features of Lollipop, just because we covered them in our review of the platform. But we'll talk about some of the exclusive ones here with the Nexus 9. First, just like some other smartphones out there, you can just double tap the screen to turn it on so you get useful access to the time and also some of the notifications. On top of that, just like the Moto X, you could have instant access to Google Now by speaking, "Okay Google." And it even works if when the screen's turned on or off. In a way, the Android 5.0 Lollipop experience is remarkable. It's actually more functionally sound than iOS over on the iPad Air 2, and in some instances, it's even more versatile than some of the Windows tablets out there. Just because with Lollipop, it provides for a fun experience, whether it's multimedia consumption or if you're doing some productivity work using some of the Google document applications or just typing up quick messages. It works in a variety of ways, but there's one area that's lacking. We'd have to say it's just multitasking. It just continues to use the same app switching process as opposed to true multitasking, but the overall effort is pretty solid. And don't be fooled by its affordable cost just because the Nexus 9 is powered by NVIDIA's dual-core Tegra K1 chipset, which is based on 64-bit architecture. It's coupled with 2GB of RAM and the 192-core Kepler GPU, and this thing is one beast of a tablet. In terms of performance, it's fantastic for gaming. It does exceptionally well in several gaming benchmarks, and the overall performance of the tablet is pretty snappy and responsive. Naturally, the beefy hardware specs lends its usefulness in a variety of different areas with the experience. So for example, when it comes to surfing the web, it's pretty much buttery smooth with its kinetic scrolling, and it's pretty fast at loading up complex web pages. And with the sharp screen, it's pretty much an effective thing for it. It's also good for music. You have the Google Play Music application. It doesn't deviate from the presentation layout we are normally accustomed to. With its dual front-firing speakers, it delivers, 70.1 decibels of power, which might seem weak on paper, but it does reverberate with a very deep punch, though it tends to sound a little bit echoey at times. And finally, it works exceptionally well for things like watching high-definition videos. It's paired with an 8 megapixel autofocus rear camera, which pretty much matches its rivals in the space. It features an f2.4 aperture lens, you have an LED flash, and up to 1080p video recording. As for the camera app itself, it's a familiar one. It's the standard Google camera app, which is downloadable through the Google Play Store on any Android device. It's filled with a few different shooting modes such as photosphere, panoramic, and lens blur, but it's missing things like HDR, and there are barely any manual controls to it. It's just nice that it's pretty simple, but the time to take photos is a little bit long. The camera's performance is average at best. They're nothing too outstanding, but at least it gets the job done on most occasions. Now, it takes some pleasant looking outdoor shots. It's filled with some nicely defined details, though sometimes if you're not steady, it can cause some blurring in the shots. Colors too are pleasant in tone despite the subtle saturation we see. Under lower lighting conditions, we naturally see a degradation in quality. That's expected, but overall images come out dark, which in turn masks some details in the shot, but luckily noise is kept to a minimum. At the same time, its 1080p video recording quality is nothing worth writing home about. We have the same reservation as its still image quality. It's okay to use, but it's not necessarily our first choice. It's light on details, and sometimes its focus can be a little bit delayed at times. You'd think that this would be a battery hog because of the Tegra K1 chip it's packing along and also the large high-resolution display, but that's certainly not the case here with the Nexus 9. It is just a fantastic performing tablet with great battery life. Now, it's packing along a 6700 milliamp hour one, and with that, we're able to get a day and a half of power usage, which is pretty impressive in itself. But best of all, it reaches new heights with our battery benchmark test. It produces a tally of 9 hours and 24 minutes, which easily eclipses the tally put out by both the iPad Air 2 and the Samsung Galaxy Tab S 8.4. So the Google Nexus 9 starts at $400 for the base 16GB Wi-Fi only option. If you need double the storage, you could pick up the 32GB option for only $480, and later in the year we're going to get an LTE model with 32GB of storage for $600. All told, the Google Nexus 9 is an outstanding package for the price point, the features, the performance. It's a knockout hit. It's one of the better tablets out there in the market. It excels in battery life. It has a very nice solid package with its spec sheet. And top it off, the Android 5.0 Lollipop experience is a sight to behold just because it's very versatile in many fronts, better than iOS in several ways, and to the extent it rivals what you get in terms of productivity with standard Windows tablets. So if you guys want to learn more about the Google Nexus 9, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. John V. Thanks for watching.